Greetings, superhero fans, and welcome back to our channel where we explore the incredible world of superheroes. In today's video, we'll be counting down the top 6 superheroes who defied death and lived to tell the tale. From epic battles to self-sacrifice, these heroes have shown us that death is not always the end. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be amazed as we take a closer look at some of the most death-defying moments in superhero history. This is part 2 of our series, so if you haven't checked out part 1, be sure to do so after watching this video. Without further ado, let's dive in. Coming in with number 1, The Flash. Barry Allen was a beloved DC Comics superhero known for his incredible speed and ability to travel through time and dimensions. Unfortunately, his fate was sealed during the Crisis on Infinite Earth event where he sacrificed himself to power a weapon meant to stop the Anti-Monitor from destroying the multiverse. Despite his heroic efforts, Barry Allen was killed, and for over 20 years, Barry remained dead in the comics, leaving fans mourning the loss of their beloved hero. However, in 2009, he was brought back to life during the Final Crisis event, which involved a time-traveling battle between Barry and the villainous Darkseid. This momentous occasion was celebrated by writer Geoff Johns in his mini-series titled Flash Rebirth. The series explored Barry's return to life and introduced new concepts such as the Speed Force, which is the source of Flash's power. Flash Rebirth was a crucial and commercial success, cementing Barry's place as a key figure in the DC Comics universe. Since his return, he has been a prominent figure, appearing in numerous storylines and as a member of the Justice League. Despite others taking up the mantle of the Flash in his absence, Barry remains a fan favorite and one of the greatest heroes in the DC Comic universe. Number 2, Kid Flash, aka Wally West. The Flashpoint event had a profound impact on Wally West's life. After the event, he became trapped inside the Speed Force for a decade, only escaping during the events of DC Rebirth number 1. This was done as a way to reintroduce Wally to readers who missed him during the New 52 era. The story of his return was later developed as a key part of the DC Rebirth initiative, which aimed to restore classic characters and elements to the DC Comics universe. Despite his triumphant return, Wally West has been a controversial figure since his resurrection. In particular, his actions during the Heroes in Crisis event have drawn criticism. During this storyline, Wally West was revealed to have accidentally killed several other heroes while dealing with the trauma of losing his own family. This revelation sparked a heated debate amongst fans about whether or not the character's actions were justified and whether or not he should be held accountable for his mistakes. Regardless of the controversy, Wally West remains a popular character amongst DC Comic fans. He has been a key member in the Teen Titans, the Justice League, and has even taken on the mantle of the Flash himself. With his rich history and complex personality, Wally West continues to be an important part of the DC Comics universe. Coming in with our number 3, Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Now, Hawkman and Hawkgirl are two of DC comic characters who are known for their unique and tragic cycle of death and resurrection. According to their backstory, the two characters are doomed to an endless cycle of reincarnation, each time being reborn in a new life, but always finding each other and eventually dying again. This cycle has been explored in various storylines throughout the years, with the characters often struggling to break free from the cursed fate. The origins of Hawkman and Hawkgirl's curse date to an ancient Egypt where they were known as Prince Khufu and Princess Shayara. The two were murdered by the evil priest Hathset, and their souls were cursed to an endless cycle of death and reincarnation as punishment for their crimes in a previous life. Over time, the characters' stories have evolved and been retold, with different versions of their origin and curses appearing in various comic book series. Despite their tragic fate, Hawkman and Hawkgirl have remained resilient heroes fighting against evil forces and protecting the innocent in each new life they are given. Their love story, which spans centuries and even dimensions, have become a beloved part of the DC Comics universe, and fans continue to root for the characters to break free from their cursed fate and find a way to live happily ever after. Moving on to number 4, Damian Wayne, aka Robin. The death and subsequent resurrection of Damian Wayne, the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, had a significant impact on the Batman mythos. Damian's death came relatively early in his crime-fighting career. In the pages of Batman Inc. storyline, the character was killed by an older clone of himself, causing immense grief and guilt for Batman, who had taken Damian under his wing as Robin. Batman became obsessed with finding a way to bring Damian back to life and eventually discovered the Chaos Shard, a powerful artifact capable of resurrecting the dead. The shard restored Damian to life but also granted him superpowers, giving the young hero a new level of strength and ability. However, the powers were temporary and eventually faded away, leaving Damian to return to his role as Robin alongside his father. Despite the brief moment of power, Damian's resurrection also brought a new set of challenges and complexities to his character, as he struggled to come to terms with his own morality and his father's obsession with bringing him back to life. Moving on to number 5, Spider-Man. The inheritor Morlun was an incredibly powerful character who appeared in the Spider-Man comics before his family's debut in the Spider-Verse event. He came to New York City with the intention of hunting down and consuming the totemic energies of Spider-Man. This led to a series of intense battles between the two, which ultimately resulted in both Morlun and Peter Parker's apparent demise. After his death, a mysterious other-dimensional being known as the Other offered to bring Spider-Man back to life as its avatar. Spider-Man was reborn in a new body, which granted him some new abilities. Although Peter Parker accepted the Other's offer and embraced his enhanced spider powers, he eventually turned on the being. But in an alternate reality, Peter accepted the Other's offer and became a terrifying evil version of Spider-Man. And last but never least, in our number 6 spot, we have Iron Man. Tony Stark, the genius inventor and hero known as Iron Man, has managed to cheat death on several occasions. During the Civil War II event, a fierce conflict between heroes resulted in a battle that ended with Captain Marvel accidentally killing Iron Man. However, Tony's brilliant mind had planned ahead, and he had created one of his best inventions that allowed him to evade death. Despite being rebuilt with artificially created cells, Tony struggled to accept his new artificial existence and identity as Mark I. Unfortunately, he met his demise once again, but his reborn parents' genetic material played a crucial role in bringing him back to life using non-artificial cells. This effectively revived the real Tony Stark, who went on to continue his legacy as Iron Man. Now, if you are enjoying the series where we depict the death and rebirth of superheroes, please hit that like button, for this is only part 2. There is many more to come, because as we know in the DC and Marvel universe, heroes die and get reborn all the time. Death is never forever. But thank you, and if you have any suggestions for future topics, leave them down in the comments. Now, it's no secret that superheroes and their powers have captivated our imaginations for decades. And there are countless abilities that we've seen in comics, movies, and TV shows. However, some powers stand out from the rest due to their extraordinary nature and the incredible feats they allow their users to perform. In this video, we'll be exploring the top 6 most unique superpowers and the superheroes that wield them. Starting off with number 1, reality warping. Reality warping is often associated with characters who have godlike powers, such as Scarlet Witch from Marvel Comics or Beyonder, also from Marvel Comics. These characters are able to blend reality to their will, creating new worlds or even altering existing ones with a mere thought. There are various forms of reality warping. Low-level reality manipulation is typically limited to changing small aspects of reality, such as altering the appearance of objects or changing the weather. On the other hand, omnipotent reality warping is the highest level of reality manipulation, where the user has complete control over reality itself and can create or destroy things that they desire. It's important to note, though, that reality warping is not without its limitations. The power can be limited by the user's imagination or level of control, and the use of the power may have unintended consequences or negative effects on the user or those around them. Moving on to number 2, probability manipulation. Now, the only character I know of that has this power is Domino. Domino's power of probability manipulation is a unique and powerful ability that allows her to manipulate the probability of any given event. She can manipulate the odds of success or failure for any event, even the most unlikely ones, making the impossible possible. For example, she could increase the chance of an ally dodging an incoming attack or decrease the likelihood of an enemy's weapon functioning correctly. Domino's powers of probability manipulation do not stop there. She can also affect random events, such as a coin toss, a roll of the dice, or the probability of a natural disaster occurring. With her power, she can change the probability of these events, tipping the odds in her favor. Coming in with number 3, molecular manipulation. Firestorm's power of molecular manipulation is a unique and powerful ability that allows him to manipulate matter at a molecular level. He has complete control over the atomic and subatomic particles that make up all matter, which means he can transform objects into different substances, rearrange molecules to create new structures, and even disintegrate matter. With his powers, Firestorms can transmute one element into another, change the properties of an object, or create entirely new structures from existing matter. He can even create new elements that do not exist naturally. For example, he could turn a rock into gold or transform a glass bottle into a sword. And now on to number 4, phasing. Phasing, also known as intangibility or intangible manipulation, is the ability to pass through solid objects as if they were not there. Characters with this power can alter their molecular density, allowing them to move through solid matter without affecting it. Characters with phasing abilities are able to move through walls, floors, and other objects without causing any damage. They can also use this power to evade attacks or move through tight spaces. In some cases, phasing characters are able to phase other objects or people with them, allowing them to move through solid matter together. Moving on to number 5, superhuman senses. Daredevil's power of superhuman senses is a unique and powerful ability that compensates for his blindness. Although he is unable to see with his eyes, his other senses are incredibly heightened, allowing him to perceive the world around him with remarkable detail and accuracy. Daredevil's hearing is one of the most potent senses, allowing him to detect sounds that others can't hear, such as a heartbeat or a person's breathing. His sense of smell is also highly developed, allowing him to detect scents that others cannot, such as the scent of a specific person in a crowded room. Additionally, his sense of touch is so refined that he can read printed material by feeling the texture of the ink on a page. And last, but anything but least, number 6, elasticity. Plastic Man, or The elongated man's power of elasticity is a unique and versatile ability that allows him to stretch and deform his body to an incredible extent. He can reshape his body into any form he desires, whether it be a simple elongation of his limbs or a complete transformation into a completely different shape. Plastic Man's body is extremely malleable and he can stretch his arms, legs, and torso into incredible lengths. This allows him to reach objects or enemies from a distance or to cross gaps that would be impossible for others to traverse. He can also form his body into a wide variety of shapes, such as parachutes, a trampoline, or even a makeshift boat. In addition to his stretching abilities, Plastic Man's body is also incredibly resilient. He can absorb and disperse physical impacts, making him virtually indestructible. He can also regenerate from injuries that would be fatal for normal humans, such as being crushed or dismembered. And that was top 6 superpowers and the people who wield them. If you enjoyed, please hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment down. Thank you again here at True Power Comics. Welcome back to True Power Comics, and boy do we have another juicy one for you. Today we're looking at the top 6 superheroes who may have been cloned or may be clones themselves. If you have any other topics for future videos, please be sure to comment it down in the comment section and hit that like if you enjoyed this one. Coming in with number 1, Spider-Man. Spider-Man has had multiple clones over the years, including Scarlet Spider, Kaine, and Spider-Side. Spider-Man's clones have been a major plot point in several storylines over the years. The most well-known clone is probably Ben Reilly, who took on the mantle of Scarlet Spider and even briefly replaced Peter Parker as Spider-Man. Kaine is another clone who was created as a flawed copy of Peter Parker, and Spider-Side is a more powerful and unstable clone who was created by the Jackal. The Clone Saga in the Spider-Man comics was a major storyline in the 1990s involving the revelation that Peter Parker himself might be a clone of the original Spider-Man. This led to the introduction of several other clones. I love this series because it's really creepy to think that any of your most favorite superheroes could have been a clone at any point that you were reading. But anyway, moving on with number 2, Batman. In the Batman: The Return of Bruce Wayne storyline, Bruce Wayne is sent through time and encounters several different versions of himself, effectively creating clones of Batman. While Bruce Wayne himself is not a clone, the Batman in the Return of Bruce Wayne storyline involves several versions of Bruce Wayne from different time periods. These versions of Bruce are effectively clones as they are all identical to the original Bruce Wayne in appearance and abilities. In addition to the Return of Bruce Wayne storyline, there have been other instances where Batman has been cloned or duplicated. One notable example is the Batman the Animated Series episode His Silicon Soul, which features a duplicate of Batman created by an android. Moving on with number 3, Superman. In the Superman Red/Superman Blue storyline, Superman is split into 2 separate beings, effectively creating a clone of himself. Additionally, there have been several versions of Superboy. The most well-known clone of Superman is probably Superboy, who was created by Project Cadmus using genetic material from Superman and human DNA. Kon-El, as he is also known, eventually becomes his own hero and joins the Teen Titans. In addition to Superboy, there have been several other clones of Superman over the years. These include the villainous Reign of Superman characters who were created in the wake of Superman's apparent death, as well as the Bizarro characters who were imperfect duplicates of Superman with opposite personalities. Okay, now we're on to number 4, Captain America. In the Captain America the Winter Soldier storyline, it is revealed that the Soviet Union created their own version of Captain America known as the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier, also known as Bucky Barnes, is technically not a clone of Captain America, but rather a brainwashed version of his former sidekick. However, the Winter Soldier has often been portrayed as a dark reflection of Captain America, effectively creating a clone of sorts. While the Winter Soldier is the most well-known clone or duplicate of Captain America, there have been other characters who have taken on the mantle of Cap over the years. These include John Walker, who became the US agent, and Sam Wilson, who became the Falcon and later took over as Captain America. And on to our number 5 spot, Green Lantern. In the Green Lantern Rebirth storyline, it is revealed that Hal Jordan was cloned by the villainous Sinestro, creating a clone of Green Lantern. Hal Jordan's clone, known as Parallax, was created by the villainous Sinestro as part of his plan to take over the universe. Parallax eventually became its own villainous entity separate from Hal Jordan. In addition to Parallax, there have been other duplicates of Green Lantern over the years. One of the most notable is Kyle Rayner, who became a Green Lantern after Hal Jordan went rogue and became mind-controlled by the villain, Parallax. And last but never least, we have our number 6 spot, Wolverine. Wolverine has had several clones over the years, including X-23, a female clone of Wolverine, and Daken, Wolverine's son, who was created using genetic material from both Wolverine and his archenemy, Sabretooth. X-23 is a female clone of Wolverine who was created as part of the Weapon X program. Like Wolverine, X-23 has adamantium claws and a healing factor. Daken, on the other hand, is Wolverine's son, who was created using genetic material from both Wolverine and Sabretooth. Daken has his own set of claws, as well as the ability to manipulate pheromones to influence people's emotions. In addition to X-23 and Daken, there have been other clones and duplicates of Wolverine in the Marvel Universe. These include Albert and LCD, two cyborgs created from Wolverine's DNA, and Laura Kinney, who briefly took on the mantle of Wolverine after Logan's death. There is also a character known as Old Man Logan, who is a future version of Wolverine from an alternate timeline, and that is just awesome in itself. Thank you for joining us here at True Power Comics with our top 6 superheroes who have been cloned. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, comment down another topic you think we should do in the future, and subscribe. Thank you, and have a good day. Death is never the end for superheroes. They have a habit of coming back to life, much to the delight of fans. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 superheroes who have cheated death and made a triumphant return to the world of comic books. Starting with 6, Bucky Barnes. Bucky Barnes was believed to have died in an explosion during World War II. However, he was later revealed to have been brainwashed by the Soviet Union and transformed into the Winter Soldier. He later regained his memories and became a hero once again. On to our number 5, Green Arrow. Oliver Queen was presumed dead after a boat named the Queen's Gambit sunk in a storm, but it was later revealed that he had survived and was stranded on a deserted island for several years. During this time on the island, he honed his skills and became a master archer. When he returned to his hometown, he resumed the superhero identity as Green Arrow. Green Arrow has since become a beloved character in the DC universe. and his survival and return from the dead have become an iconic part of his story. Number 4. Colossus. In the Marvel Comics universe, Colossus was killed in the storyline The Fall of the Mutants, when he sacrificed himself to save the world from the villainous adversary. However, in the following storyline, Inferno, it was revealed that Colossus had been resurrected by a group of demons who had taken over his body. After some time, Colossus was able to regain control of his body and eventually join the X-Men once again. However, the experience of being resurrected by demons left a lasting impact on Colossus, leading to various storylines exploring the psychological toll of his resurrection. Coming in with number 3, Jason Todd. Now I know we've talked about this one in a previous video, but his situation is so perfect for this video that we had to mention it again. So, Jason Todd, the second character to take up the mantle of Batman's sidekick, Robin, in DC Comics, was famously killed by the Joker in the storyline A Death in the Family. In the storyline, readers were given the chance to vote on whether or not Jason Todd would survive an encounter with the Joker. The majority voted for his death, and Jason Todd was seemingly killed by a bomb planted by the Joker. Years later, in the storyline Under the Hood, it was revealed that Jason Todd had actually been resurrected by the mystical Lazarus Pit, which had been used by Ra's al Ghul and characters in the Batman mythos to bring people back from the dead. However, the resurrection had left Jason with some psychological trauma, leading him to become the anti-hero Red Hood and seek vengeance against Batman and his allies. Number 2. Jean Grey, a member of the X-Men in Marvel Comics, was killed and resurrected in one of the most iconic storylines in comic book history, the Dark Phoenix Saga. In this storyline, Jean Grey became possessed by a cosmic entity called the Phoenix Force, which gave her immense power but also caused her to become increasingly unstable. Ultimately, Jean sacrificed herself to prevent the Phoenix Force from destroying the universe. However, in the storyline, The Phoenix Resurrection, the return of Jean Grey, it was revealed that Jean Grey had not actually died. Instead, the Phoenix Force had created a duplicate of Jean's body and memories, while the real Jean was placed in a cocoon at the bottom of the ocean. And there she kept in stasis for several years. Eventually, the X-Men were able to rescue Jean Grey from the cocoon, and she returned to the land of the living. Jean's resurrection has had a major impact on the X-Men comics, with the character continuing to play a prominent role in various storylines and spin-off titles. Her experiences as the Phoenix have also explored in depth, with various characters grappling with the temptation and consequences of cosmic entities' immense powers. And our number 1 spot today, none other than Superman. Superman's death and resurrection storyline is one of the most iconic moments in comic book history. In 1992, DC Comics released the Death of Superman storyline, in which the Man of Steel meets his end at the hands of the monstrous villain, Doomsday. The storyline begins with a series of battles between Superman and Doomsday, culminating in a brutal fight in the streets of Metropolis. Despite his best efforts, Superman is ultimately defeated and dies in the arms of Lois Lane. In the aftermath of his death, the world mourns the loss of the greatest hero they have ever known. But as it turns out, Superman's death was not permanent. In 1993, DC Comics released the Return of Superman storyline, in which 4 different characters claiming to be the true Superman emerge. Eventually, it is revealed that the real Superman has been in a state of suspended animation and was revived by a Kryptonian regenerating matrix. He returns to reclaim his mantle as the protector of Metropolis, and the world rejoices at his resurrection. Superman's death and resurrection has a profound impact on the comic book industry, and it remains one of the most memorable storylines in superhero history. Aw, yeah. In the world of superheroes, Spider-Man is known for his quick wit, agility, and ability to outsmart even the toughest of villains. But what happens when he comes up against his fellow heroes? Join us as we take a look at 6 times Spider-Man completely embarrassed other superheroes. Number 1. The Fantastic Four. In The Amazing Spider-Man number 1, Spider-Man outsmarted the Fantastic Four when they first encountered him. The Fantastic Four tried to capture Spider-Man, who they believed was a criminal, after he broke into their building. Spider-Man was able to dodge their attacks and escape using his agility and spider sense to avoid their powers. He then revealed why he was really there. He was low on cash and wanted by the police, and so decides to take a visit to the Fantastic Four's headquarters. Once there, he sneaks past the security system, or so he thought, until he's surrounded by the Fantastic Four, who are confused why Spider-Man is breaking into their building. Spider-Man then decides to test the Fantastic Four's abilities and challenges each member, easily avoiding their attempts to capture him. He's able to dodge and counter each of their attacks using his agility and spider sense. In the end, he convinces the Fantastic Four that he is not a criminal, but rather a hero like themselves. He wants to join the team and thinks he's worthy of their best salary. But they tell him that they are a non-profit, and any money they do get goes to furthering the science needed to keep helping other people. To which he quickly makes an exit. Coming in with number 2, Daredevil. Matt Murdock, Daredevil's secret identity, is walking down the street when a bunch of thieves come running out of a building. He's about to thwart their dastardly doings when, out of nowhere, Spider-Man appears and saves the day. Then he returns to his office and hears the friends of his talking about how they're going to the circus and how Spider-Man will be performing there, which prompts him to also want to go to the circus. While at the circus, the Grand Master uses his hypnotizing hat to take over Spider-Man's mind and the rest of the people at the circus. Well, everybody except for Matt Murdock, who's blind and can't see the hat. So Matt Murdock changes into his costume, the Daredevil, and begins to thwart the evil doings when the Grand Master sends Spider-Man after him. While fighting Spider-Man, Daredevil realizes he's no match for his super strength or his very, very high intelligence. So what does he do? He goes for the next best person, the Grand Master, who is controlling Spider-Man. While avoiding Spider-Man just barely and getting his butt beaten by Spider-Man through the whole thing, he finally gets his hands on the Grand Master's hat, allowing him to take the hold he has off of Spider-Man and save the day eventually. Though it does leave Daredevil feeling a little embarrassed that he could not match up to Spider-Man, he is overall happy that Spider-Man is back to the side of good. Coming in with number 3, The Avengers. In Avengers number 316, which was published on 1990, it features a battle between the Avengers and the villainous group known as the Lethal Legion. The Lethal Legion had taken over S.H.I.E.L.D. Laboratory and were attempting to obtain a powerful weapon. During the battle, though, Spider-Man realized that the Lethal Legion had been observing the Avengers' tactics and adapting to their fighting styles. He then used his spider sense and intelligence to come up with a plan to outsmart the villains. Spider-Man's plan involved him pretending to be defeated by the villains and then using his spider powers and intelligence to take them by surprise. He also identified the weaknesses of each Avenger and directed them to use their powers in specific ways to exploit those weaknesses. With Spider-Man's help, the Avengers were able to defeat the Lethal Legion and prevent them from obtaining this dangerous weapon. Coming in with number 4, Wolverine. In The Amazing Spider-Man number 559, Spider-Man outsmarted Wolverine during a brief fight. Wolverine, who is known for his ferocity and strength, was unable to hit Spider-Man due to his spider sense and agility. Spider-Man used his intelligence to stay one step ahead of Wolverine the whole time, tricking him into hitting himself with his own claws. Also, he used his tactical ability and quick thinking to allow him to evade Wolverine's attack and come out on top. He also used his web shooters to create distractions and keep Wolverine off balance, preventing him from using his full strength and speed. And on to number 5, The X-Men. In Spider-Man and the X-Men number 1, published in 2014, the X-Men discover that their new substitute teacher is Spider-Man. The X-Men are initially skeptical of Spider-Man due to his past as a villain, and they refuse to let him join their team. However, Spider-Man manages to convince them to give him a chance by using his wit, humor, and spider powers to prove his worth. He offers the help to the X-Men to deal with a group of villains who are targeting mutants and offers to teach them how to be more creative in their approach in fighting crime. Spider-Man's unconventional approach to heroism is met with some initial resistance from the X-Men, but he eventually gains their trust and proves to be a valuable member of the team. He uses his spider sense and web-slinging skills to help the X-Men navigate through a dangerous terrain and avoid traps set by the villains. Throughout the issue, Spider-Man's ability to think on his feet and come up with creative solutions allows him to outsmart the X-Men and prove himself as a hero. The issue is notable for showcasing Spider-Man's leadership skills and his ability to work alongside a team of powerful mutants despite his lack of superhuman abilities. Finishing off with number 6, The Human Torch. In The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 9, Spider-Man is framed for a robbery by a group of criminals who have stolen his costume and used it to commit the crime. The Human Torch sees Spider-Man fleeing the scene and believes him to be the actual thief. The two engage in a heated battle, with the Human Torch using his power of flame and flight to try and take down Spider-Man. However, Spider-Man had anticipated the Human Torch's ability and had prepared by coating his costume with a fire retardant chemical that made it resistant to the flames. As the battle rages on, Spider-Man is able to maneuver the Human Torch into a room filled with gas, which he ignites with a match. The resulting explosion extinguishes the flames on the Human Torch and knocks him out, leaving Spider-Man to escape and clear his name. By using his intelligence and preparation, Spider-Man was able to outsmart the Human Torch and turn his own powers against him. The Human Torch had initially thought he had the upper hand due to his powers, but Spider-Man's ingenuity allowed him to gain the advantage and emerge victorious. And that is it today here at True Power Comics for our top 6 people who Spider-Man completely embarrassed. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, give us a subscribe even, comment down in the section what you want to see in a future video. But thank you and have a great day. Hello and welcome back. Today we have a special treat for you. The Hulk is one of the strongest and most iconic characters in the Marvel Universe, but there are beings out there who can make him look like a mere ant in comparison. In this video, we're going to explore 6 characters who are bigger than the Hulk. Coming in at number 1, Galactus. Galactus is a fictional character in the Marvel Comics universe. He was created by writer Stan Lee and artist Jack Kirby and made his first appearance in the Fantastic Four number 48 in March 1961. Galactus is known as the Devourer of Worlds, and his primary role in the Marvel Universe is to consume planets to sustain his own existence. Galactus is often depicted as being much larger than planets themselves, with his size being comparable to that of a star or even a galaxy. He possesses vast cosmic powers, including the ability to manipulate matter, energy, and reality itself. He is also able to travel through space and time, and has knowledge of various advanced technologies and sciences. Galactus is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe and is often portrayed as a villain, although he has been depicted as a hero at times as well. He is a formidable opponent for any superhero, including the Hulk, and has been involved in many major storylines in the Marvel Universe. Plus, the guy is big enough to literally eat planets, and Hulk lives on a planet. So, here we go with number 2. Ego the Living Planet. Ego the Living Planet is a fictional character in the Marvel Comics universe, also created by the writers Stan Lee and artist Jack Kirby. Ego's first appearance in Thor number 132 in September 1966. As his name suggests, Ego is a living planet with a consciousness and personality. He possesses immense psionic powers and can control his own surface and environment, allowing him to create living beings and various structures on his surface. Ego is able to communicate with other beings through telepathy and has been known to develop emotional attachments to certain individuals. In the Marvel Universe, Ego is often portrayed as a villain due to his desire to expand his influence and consume other planets. He has been involved in several major storylines, including a battle with Thor and the Asgardians, and an attempt to merge with the universe itself. Ego's unique abilities make him a formidable opponent for any hero, including the Hulk. His size and power are truly immense, and he has been known to cause destruction on a massive scale. Despite his villainous tendencies, Ego remains one of the most unique and interesting characters in the Marvel Universe. And our number 3 spot, Unicron. Unicron is a fictional character from the Transformers universe. He was created by a writer, Bob Budiansky, and artist Bob Balling, and made his first appearance in the Transformers the movie 1986. Unicron is a planet-sized transformer who is capable of transforming into a giant robotic being. He possesses immense strength and durability, as well as the ability to manipulate matter and energy. Unicron is also able to travel through space and time and is known for consuming entire planets in order to sustain himself. In the Transformers universe, Unicron is often portrayed as a villain, seeking to destroy the Autobots and conquer the universe. He has been involved in several major storylines, including a battle with the hero Optimus Prime and the creation of the evil Transformer Galvatron. Unicron's massive and powerful size make him a formidable opponent for any hero, including the Hulk. His ability to consume entire planets and his vast arsenal of weapons make him one of the most dangerous characters in the Transformers universe. Despite his villainous nature, Unicron remains one of the most iconic and memorable characters in the franchise. And I mean, the dude turns into a planet. What's cooler than that? Moving on to number 4. Now, I could talk about all of these people individually, but that would kind of be cheating, so I'm going to mention them in a group. The Celestials. The Celestials are a group of powerful cosmic entities in the Marvel Comics universe created by writer Jack Kirby. They first appeared in the Eternals number 1 in July 1976. The Celestials are ancient beings who have existed since the beginning of the universe. They possess immense cosmic powers. including the ability to manipulate matter, energy, and reality itself. They are also able to travel through space and time and have extensive knowledge of advanced technologies and science. In the Marvel Universe, the Celestials are often depicted as mysterious and enigmatic beings. They have been known to intervene in the affairs of mortal beings and have been involved in several major storylines, including a battle with the hero Thor and the creation of the mutant gene in humans. The Celestials' immense size and power are unmatched by any mortal being, including the Hulk. Their cosmic abilities make them virtually invincible, and they are capable of destroying entire planets with ease. Moving on to number 5, Onslaught. Onslaught is a fictional character in the Marvel Comics universe created by writer Scott Lobdell and artist Mark Waid. He first appeared in X-Men number 322 in 1995. Onslaught is a powerful villain who was created from the dark thoughts and emotions of Professor Xavier and Magneto. He possesses vast psionic powers including telepathy, telekinesis, and energy manipulation. He's also incredibly intelligent and possesses knowledge of advanced technologies and sciences. In the Marvel Universe, Onslaught is often portrayed as a major villain. Seeking to destroy the X-Men and other superheroes, he has been involved in several major storylines, including the Onslaught Saga and Heroes Reborn. Onslaught's size and physical appearance vary depending on the artist, but he is typically depicted as a towering and muscular figure. His power and abilities make him a formidable foe for any hero, including the Hulk. He has been known to manipulate and control the emotions of others, making him a difficult opponent to defeat for anyone, especially one of anger like the Hulk. Thanks to those of you that have stuck this far. Coming in with our number 6 spot, the Beyonder. The Beyonder is a fictional character in the Marvel Comics universe created by writer Jim Shooter and artist Mike Zeck. He first appeared in Secret War number 1 in 1984. The Beyonder is a cosmic being who possesses near unlimited power. He is able to manipulate reality on a grand scale, including the ability to create and destroy entire universes. He is also capable of time travel, teleportation, as well as the ability to grant powers and abilities to others. In the Marvel Universe, the Beyonder is often portrayed as a mysterious and enigmatic character. He has been involved in several major storylines, including Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2. In these storylines, the Beyonder often acts as a catalyst for major events in the Marvel Universe. The Beyonder's immense power and ability to manipulate reality make him one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. His powers are so great that he has been known to defeat powerful heroes and villains with ease. Despite his godlike status, the Beyonder is not invincible and has been defeated by various characters in the Marvel Universe. Overall, the Beyonder is a significant and memorable character in the Marvel mythos due to his nearly unlimited power and his impact on major storylines in the universe. Well, those were our top 6 characters that are bigger than the Hulk. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and leave a comment for us down in the comment section. Thank you from True Power Comics, and have a great day.
Welcome to True Power Comics, where we bring you the latest and greatest on all things comics and superheroes. In this video, we're going to showcase the top 6 funniest Batman gadgets that will leave you in stitches. As one of the most beloved superheroes of all time, Batman is known for his cool gadgets and high-tech tools. But in this video, we're going to highlight some of the more comical inventions that Batman has come up with over the years. From the hilarious to the downright bizarre, these gadgets will show you a side of Batman that you've never seen before. So get ready to laugh and be amazed as we count down the top 6 funniest Batman gadgets. As a comic book enthusiast, I've always found Batman's utility belt to be one of the coolest things about him. The gadgets he has in there are always so innovative and useful in his fight against crime. However, there's one gadget that seems to be a bit out of place, the makeup kit. Back in the Silver Age of comic books, Batman was viewed more as a detective than a superhero, and it made sense for him to have a makeup kit for going undercover. But looking back on it now, it seems pretty impractical and useless for the majority of situations he could find himself in. I mean, can you imagine Batman sitting in front of a mirror, trying to follow a modern makeup tutorial? It's a pretty amusing thought, but I highly doubt we'll ever see the makeup kit make a comeback in his utility belt. Nonetheless, it's always fun to look back on some of the weirder gadgets that Batman has used over the years. So let's move on to the next gadget on our list and see what kind of laughs it has in store for us. I'm always excited to see new and innovative ideas come to life in the pages of our favorite stories. One such idea was introduced in Paul Pope's futuristic Batman, Year 100 comic, and it's definitely a head-scratcher. In this story, whoever is behind the Batman mask seems to be counting on criminals being a superstitious and cowardly lot by wearing fake vampire teeth. Now, realistically speaking, it's hard to imagine how effective this tactic would be. I mean, any old person can buy a set of fake vampire teeth at Party City. Despite the oddity of this gadget, it's still an interesting addition to the Batman mythos. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see Batman donning his fake vampire teeth again in a future comic book storyline. Coming in at number 3 on our list of the funniest Batman gadgets is the Batpoon. As we mentioned earlier, this gadget is essentially a mini harpoon gun that Batman gave to Robin as a birthday present. Now, the name, Batpoon, might make you snicker and wonder what on earth it could possibly mean. But don't worry, it's not as inappropriate as it sounds. In fact, the name probably came about because it's easier to write, Batpoon, in a word panel than to come up with a more serious-sounding name. Of course, the idea of Batman threatening criminals with a Batpoon is pretty hilarious. But eventually, Batman upgraded this gadget into the Batrobe, which sounds a lot more professional and less silly. As comic book fans, we love the weird and wacky gadgets that Batman has come up with over the years. And the Batpoon is just one example of the many creative and unique gadgets that make Batman such an iconic superhero. At number 4 on our list of the funniest Batman gadgets is the Bat-Female Villain Repellent, which was introduced in a one-shot crossover comic called Planetary/Batman, Night on Earth, by Warren Ellis and John Cassaday. In the story, Batman and the Planetary team up to take down a criminal who is causing damage to reality. During their adventure, Batman is gradually transformed into different versions of himself, including the classic 60s Batman who famously used Bat Shark repellent in the 1966 Batman movie. But in this story, Batman takes his repellent game to the next level by using Bat-Female Villain Repellent spray on Planetary member Chiquita. While it may seem like a parody of the absurd Bat Shark repellent, it also speaks to Batman's paranoid nature. After all, most of his villains are male. However, the few female villains that do exist are major threats, such as Poison Ivy, Talia al Ghul, Harley Quinn, and Lady Shiva. So maybe Batman's use of this gadget isn't as absurd as it first appears. The story of Batman creating a makeshift stop sign using crayons is certainly an odd one. In Batman number 149, the Caped Crusader is trapped on a train car by some thieves using a time travel gimmick, long story, but worth checking out. To stop the train from heading towards a busy intersection, Batman grabs some crayons and draws a stop sign on the wall of the train car. Now, it's unlikely that Batman carries crayons in his utility belt at all times, but it's not hard to imagine him having to improvise with whatever he has on hand. After all, being the Dark Knight means dealing with intense and unpredictable situations. Plus, exposure to different climates is pretty common in his line of work, so it's not hard to imagine his belt looking like a kindergarten painting after a few adventures. But hey, if crayons can help save the day, then maybe we should all consider carrying a few in our pockets, just in case. We're now at number 6, and this one is straight out of the Golden/Silver Age era of Batman. That's right, in the 2008 animated series, Batman, Brave and the Bold, we saw a revival of that era, with a more lighthearted and fun-loving Batman. And he kept literally everything either in his suit or utility belt, including a belt buckle that transformed into a lightsaber. Now, technically it's a collapsible sword, but let's be real, it's a lightsaber. And Bruce used this bad boy to do battle in any number of situations where close combat was a necessity, like battles with robots or his most dangerous foe, Ra's al Ghul. And let's face it, a lightsaber is just plain cool. Who wouldn't want to see Batman take on the Joker with one of these babies? It may not be the most practical gadget, but it sure is fun to watch in action. That's it for our list of the top 6 funniest Batman gadgets. We hope you enjoyed learning about some of the more absurd tools in the Dark Knight's utility belt. From the Batpoon to the Bat lightsaber, it's clear that Batman has a sense of humor when it comes to fighting crime. But don't let that fool you, these gadgets have proven to be quite effective in many situations. What's your favorite funny Batman gadget? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.
Calling all true Power comic fans. It's time to get hyped for the top 6 superhero movies coming out soon. From classic Marvel and DC characters to lesser known heroes, this lineup promises to deliver all the pulse-pounding action and heart-stopping drama we've come to expect from the genre. Coming in with our number 1. Hold on to your rocket boots, folks, because the gang's all here. That's right, James Gunn is bringing back your favorite crew of cosmic misfits for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and this time, it's supposedly their last hurrah. Even Zoe Saldana is returning as Gamora, which raises some intriguing questions about her fate after the events of Avengers Infinity War. Will there be a time travel shenanigans, alternate dimensions, or did the writers just say, screw it, and hit the reset button? We can't wait to find out. One thing's for sure though, with James Gunn at the helm, this movie promises to be an intergalactic adventure like no other. So buckle up, grab your dancing shoes, and get ready for the ride of a lifetime. Coming in with our number 2. Get ready to don your spandex and swing into action because everyone's favorite arachnid superhero is back. That's right, Shameik Moore is suiting up once again as young Miles Morales in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and we couldn't be more excited. After all, the first installment won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, which is pretty impressive for a movie about a bunch of spider people from different dimensions. But hey, that's just how we roll in the superhero biz, so get ready to experience another mind-bending, web-slinging adventure that will have you on the edge of your seat. It's time to save the multiverse one spider bite at a time. It's really no surprise that this made it as our number 3 spot, but hold on to your lightning bolts, folks, because The Flash is coming in hot. Director Andy Muschietti is taking the DCEU by storm with a movie that promises to be the ultimate love letter to the DC comic fans. Starring Ezra Miller as the fleet-footed Barry Allen, this flick reportedly takes inspiration from the Flashpoint storyline, which means time travel, alternate universes, and a whole lot of mind-bending madness. Oh, and did we mention that Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are returning as Batman? Talk about bat-tastic team-up. So get ready to buckle up and enjoy the ride because this movie is going to be faster than the speeding bullet, or bolt of lightning as this case may be. Time to save the world once again. Listen up, superhero aficionados, because we've got some big news with our number 4. There's a new kid on the block and he's ready to kick some serious butt. That's right, Blue Beetle is finally getting his own movie and we couldn't be more excited about it. Directed by Angel Manuel Soto and starring Cobra Kai's own Xolo Maridueña as Jaime Reyes, this flick promises to be a fresh new take on the classic DC hero. And the best part? He gets his powers from a powerful alien artifact. That's right, aliens. We're talking cosmic rays, intergalactic battles, and maybe even a little probing, if we're lucky. So mark your calendars, superhero fans, because this one is headed to theaters in August. It's time to beetle up and get ready for the ride of a lifetime. And now we're on to our number 5. Hold on to your chimichangas, folks, because Deadpool is back and better than ever. That's right, after much anticipation, the Merc with the Mouth is finally making his debut in the MCU with a third installment of his own. And let's just say, things are about to get wild. Free Guy and the Atom Project's own Shawn Levy are helming the movie, and the dynamic duo of Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick are back to write the script. Oh, and did we mention that Hugh Jackman is returning as Wolverine? That's right, bub. Claws out and ready to rumble. We're talking epic fight scenes, fourth wall breaking jokes, and maybe even a little bit of heart. If Deadpool is feeling generous. So mark your calendars, folks, because the movie is headed to theaters in November 2024. It's time to get your spandex on and join the Deadpool hype train. All aboard. Finally, our number 6. Hold on to your scroll heads, folks, because the Marvels are coming to town. That's right. Captain Marvel is back for another adventure, and this time she's got some new super friends to join her. Candyman director Nia DaCosta is at the helm of this, and she's ready to scare us out of our wits in the best way possible. Brie Larson is back as our fearless leader, and she's bringing along Teyana Paris as Monica Rambeau, and Imani Vellani as Kamala Khan. It's time to suit up, folks, because this flick is headed to theaters in November, and we're in for a wild ride. We're talking epic battles, super-powered hijinks, and maybe even a few Skrull shapeshifters, if we're lucky. So mark your calendars, superhero fans, because the Marvels are about to take the world by storm. Well, you heard it here, folks. Our top 6 superhero movies coming out soon are going to be epic. From Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to the Marvels, there's no shortage of action-packed superhero goodness headed our way. So grab some popcorn, get comfy, and get ready to unleash your inner superhero. Until the next time, stay super.